I know I haven't posted a while, but I'm gonna do a little how-to video on how to change a belt on a 13 to 18 Maverick 1000, no matter if it's XMR or whatever, they're all the same. So what you want to do first, pull the seat out. It's just a little clip back there. Pull it, pull the lever, flip forward, and it'll slide out. And then you're going to pull that pin, that pop pin, and I believe there's one back here. Nope, there's not one back there. There's normally one out there. There's two right here, one more right there, that one, and that one. I don't know how many that is, you can count it up. But once you get all those out, these plastic pieces will come right out, and then you will have access to your belt box. First, this piece right here, once you get all your pins out, stock, this piece is up under this piece, so it's gonna be a little bit more of a pain. So you're gonna have to take it, get you a flathead screwdriver, get it up under there, and kind of wiggle it free. But I've already done this one before, so you just pull it out. Once you get those, I'd put it back this way. Makes everything your life a whole lot easier. It'll catch right there. You pull this piece out. You don't need that anymore. Boom, gone. Now you got a little bit of access, but you need a little bit more. So now you're gonna want to get this piece off. It'll catch up under that lip. Pull it, set it over there with that piece. Now you have your access. Then you're gonna want to get an 8mm socket, and you're gonna want like a 6-inch extension, and then a 3-inch extension. And you're gonna want an 8mm regular wrench, preferably if you have a ratchet wrench. It'll help for these bolts on the bottom that are kind of hard to get to. You can get to them with just a ratchet, but I know some of them are more pain than others, but you can kind of get to them by reaching up under the bottom. But you're gonna have to take that hose off. That hose is just those clamps. I found it easy to go ahead and loosen that one up. You can slide the whole boot off. Undo that one also, makes everything so much easier. Just get all your bolts around the box. I'll tally those up and I'll tell you how many they are. Pull all them out and then go to the next step. Another word of advice, these types of hose clamps right here with those heads on them, I believe those are Can-Am stocks. These have been replaced. These are 8mm, and if you have the stock ones, they are a 7mm head. Now that you got that off, you just want to make sure that hose is off. And it should just come right on out. Put that with the rest of your stuff. Next thing you're gonna want to do is there's a bolt hole right here that you can thread a bolt into, spread the clutch. But this one is messed up, so what I'm gonna do is either A, you can take the primary clutch off, or B, you can take something and get in here and pry open the secondary to get the belt off. I'm probably going to end up taking the primary off. That's most of the time the easiest thing to do in this situation. The rest of the time there's a bolt. I can't remember the threads, what pitch it is. They go in that hole and it'll spread open the clutch. But don't have that, so I'm going to show you the hard way. What you want to do now, once you got it off, it is a 13/16 for that bolt right there. Make sure you have your nut, washer, and then the shim. Shim goes on bottom. So what you want to do, I forgot to record the rest of it. What you want to do is this will launch off. You might have to wiggle it loose, but it'll come off. It is not the same as the Outlanders. Outlanders have a bolt that goes in. These have that. And then this side of the primary will come off. These will slide. So what you're going to do next is you're going to want to kind of pull it over this way, and you'll see it fall over. And then what you can do is take a pry bar, about this long, whatever you have, and put it right there. If it's stuck, and you just kind of push up against it, it'll spread the secondary, and then it'll give you some slack. And what you want to do is you're going to want to pull it and work your way around the outside of it right there. And then as you rotate this, get it popped over on this side, rotate it, and it'll come on off. And on the next one, what you're going to want to do is put pry bar right here, have your belt right there, and you're going to want to pull it this way, like I just showed you. Like that right there. And you want to pull towards you. It takes a little bit of tension, but once you pull enough, you'll feel the clutch separate. Once it separates, then you want to rotate the belt on the secondary first. Do it first, and you're going to want it down a good bit, about this far or further. So and then once you get it on there, then once you get it on the secondary, then it'll just slide on the primary shaft, and then it'll take the primary, put it back on there. It may take one person, it may take two people. You can probably do it yourself, but what you gotta do is you gotta line the shaft up. Make sure you put your shim and washer back on there. and then hand thread it, and then you're just gonna do it down with the impact. Sometimes it helps to put some Loctite on those threads to keep it from backing off. Most time you don't have problems if you impact it down tight enough. I'm not sure what the torque spec is. I think it's around 70 foot-pounds, but it's really a pain to do it with the torque wrench because it's gonna want to spin, of course. So if you just do it like that, it's a whole lot easier. So yeah, let me do that real quick. And also, whenever you're doing it, don't do it too tight either. If you do it too tight, break that bolt off. That's not really good at all, because then you got to replace your primary. So just be careful when doing that. Just give it, 3-4 ugga-duggas with a 1/2 inch impact. It'll be all right. And then once you get it, you're going to take it and rotate it clockwise, your secondary. You'll feel it sort of tighten up, and you'll see the clutch ride to the top, or the belt ride to the top of the clutch. Once you get it sticking out just a tad, it's ready to go. That's how you set your belt. And then pretty much you just reverse the process, put your belt box back on, same way it came off, put your hoses on, and then you're gonna wanna ride it, say 100 miles or so, just 3/4 throttle maybe. You don't wanna hold it wide open, you just wanna ease around on it, let it break in. Especially these belts, the G-Boost. These right here, they're good belts, I'd run them. Just let them break in and you should get all the life out of them. Yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. Just make sure you break them in. And that's been your how-to. One more thing I forgot, very important. Whenever you're putting them back in, make sure you start every single one of them by hand or by a ratchet, somewhere you can feel the force on them. If you start them with impact, they will strip because they are just held in. But it's a little plastic insert or metal insert that's sitting in plastic. They will spin out like that. So you can run them down, start them with your hand, run them down with an impact, but don't do them very gently. And whenever you go to actually tighten them down, make sure you do it with a ratchet or by hand, something, because these are only rated for like, I think 5 foot-pounds, nothing. So make sure you do it, and whenever you do it, go crisscross, like start here, bottom, there, bottom, or left, right, however you want to do it. Just make sure you go top, bottom, get a good seal on it, and then you should be good to go. Pop your hoses back on, plastics in, you're good to go. Just forgot that, figured you want to know, very important.